Okay. Not sure even when people can hear me, so I'll just talk into the void for now. Lichess is doing a very good thing here. They've been raising money to help people affected by the horrific earthquake that impacted Turkey and Syria, and there's already been a lot of money raised, and I hope he will continue. This stream is supporting the Doctors Without Borders charity, who do a lot of essential stuff to help the affected regions, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to do something to help out with that effort. As for the chess content, this is a 960 arena, a game I love dearly, but can't seem to remember how to play as usual. So nothing new there really. There will be a lot of blunders, a lot of really weird decisions that I will not be able to explain, but it's sort of irrelevant. The relevant bit here is that we are, as a chess community, we are trying to do something to help people who are in desperate straits right now, and as I said, really am grateful for the opportunity and the platform provided by Lichess to do something about it. This is a good position. I don't really understand why I was given a bunch of extra material by my opponent. I am so far, I think I won one game in this tournament, and then I lost one. Basically, just trying to set up the stream. I was mainly concerned with, making sure that you can actually see what's happening on my screen. Yeah, this one we will win. That's pretty clear. But yeah, not doing particularly well. I'm currently, as you can see on your screen, ranked 136 in the tournament, but I've only just really started playing. And yeah, also, frankly, somewhat unimportant how we do, as long as the stream provides some entertainment and also does a good thing that we're aiming to do here. Yeah, David is in the tournament. He was leading at some point. He is no longer leading, it seems. So yeah, opening as many pieces as possible on move 1 is generally a good idea. So now we're already threatening the pawn on h7. I don't know if it's important. Probably isn't. That's a very strange choice. Why am I being given a central pawn here? I don't quite understand. That's not mate. I could have also just played bishop c2, honestly. I don't know. Probably just trying to trade some pieces immediately would have been a fairly wise choice as well, but let's just try to develop. Can we make a threat of some kind? Maybe. I don't know if it's a strong threat, but it's a threat. I'm still going to give this check, because I think my opponent is planning to play f6, and then I can go, yeah, this is sort of the point where this is becoming kind of, yeah, like this is exactly what we were hoping for. I mean, hoping for is a bit strong. I wasn't really actually hoping for that to happen, but if it does happen, we're not going to say no to it. Why aren't you playing for the Levitov Wizards? Not strong enough. I need to, up my game. Obviously, that is a very, very strong team, and I'm unworthy of a place on it. Thank you very much to Anonymous who just donated $40.05 to the relief effort. I will be trying to keep up with donations, and I'm really very, very grateful for all the people who are pitching in. How hard is it to become a GM? Pretty hard. Chess is a fairly difficult game to master. I don't really know why this game is continuing, but honestly, we're not that upset. Like this does feel like I'm trying to play chess and my opponent is trying to play. I don't know the name of it. Like this game where you win if you successfully give away all of your pieces. So you know, if this is what was going on, I think I lost, but I wasn't told, so I will continue counting it as a win. Yeah, I'm not sure what that message about Eric Rosen is, but you know, I don't know how to react to that. Was that, you know, a shot at me or a shot at Eric or just not a shot at all? I couldn't really figure it out. Is Eric live? Yeah, I mean, if I'm actually clashing with Eric, it will be perhaps somewhat less than ideal. It was not my intention to, you know, to cramp his style. You could have zerged. Yeah, I could have zerged for sure. But I'm a boomer. I have no APM. So I didn't. But maybe I will try, depending maybe on the if I can sort of notice my opponent's rating in time, I will be maybe trying some berserking. I'm doing yeah. That's a loaded question. Still here is the best I can manage at short notice. That's a full piece. People do continue giving me pieces, which we generally kind of encourage, I think. That's more pieces. People do seem to be very, very obliging. So yeah, I will be trying to talk to you guys. So if you have questions, do feel free to. The Knight C2 was actually a kind of a more stylish mate there instead of Queen E2, but this was a more convenient pre-move. Yeah. Not sure how long this will last. I'm kind of booking myself in for a couple of hours, maybe a bit more if I don't get booted out by the channel owners to make way for somebody new, which I will, you know, very easily understand. But for now, yeah, let's assume this is like a 2.5 hour stream. Nope. Not berserking against 1900, because honestly, I think 1900 with a question mark in particular is, you know, it could be absolutely anybody. And can we play? You can register the same tournament. I assume it's open to all and sundry. So there's nothing really stopping you from entering the same arena. I assume it's findable on the website. It's called the Chess 960 Turkey Syria Relief Arena. So that is something you can absolutely do, but whether the arena algorithm will actually pair us against each other is unclear. Yeah, well, if you don't play Rapid and or 960, then the answer for this stream is just a flat no. Because I will be doing this and this only. Yeah, as I mentioned, we will be blundering pieces every game. This is the first, like, major piece we've blundered. Well, sort of. I will pretend that I have positional compensation for the exchange because we are winning the f5 pawn for it, but... Okay, now we also are threatening this. Can I have your Discord server? Do you mean mine or Lichess? Lichess Discord server is very public and I assume not very difficult to find. My Discord server is basically a group chat, so invites to that Discord server have not been given out, I think, ever for the entirety of its existence. I invited, I think, 7 people, and that's the group chat. Nobody else is getting in. Is e4, c3, g4 good opening for white against Sicilian? Do we mean a Lapin or do we mean the... what's it called? What's its face? The Gambit. The Lapin is playable. The Gambit is also sort of playable, but I would prefer if people didn't. Is this where all the cool kids hang out? Well, I mean... yeah, I don't know. It says here I can claim victory because my opponent left the game. I will actually, I have no shame, I will claim victory. And we're actually in the top 15 somehow. Yeah, guys, today, no. Just let's kind of try to cut down on the asking for a game bit. I'm doing this today, I'm not taking challenges from the public. Statistically, there must be at least some cool kids. Well, in your Discord, for sure. In my Discord, there is nobody in my Discord you could legitimately call a kid anymore. We're all, you know, middle-aged men. We're just normal men. Innocent men, or something. This is a very niche quote. So, nothing really is hanging so much. So let's play, I don't know why c5 was chosen over, let's say, d5, but why not? Yeah, Sicilian is always good-ish. Somebody below middle age is allowed to... Well, I mean, theoretically, yes. In practice, no. In practice, there has been no joining of any kind, regardless of age. How can I donate to Lichess? I think No Joke is probably better equipped to answer that question. But today, I think we would really appreciate it if you considered donating not to Lichess, but specifically to the charity that Lichess is supporting. We are trying to help the people have been very, very badly affected by the earthquake, and if you have any money to spare, I'm pretty sure Lichess will not be upset at you if you use that money for that cause today. Yeah, well, what No Joke said is what I also wanted to say, but as usual spent 50 words too many. I probably should have taken with a knight. Some kind of a check like this is actually not that painful for my opponent, but will be extremely painful for me if that happens. A full $200 from Anonymous donated to Doctors Without Borders. Thank you very much, whoever you are. I and everybody here, I'm sure, really do appreciate the generosity of the people who are supporting the charity. I kind of need to work out where my king is going. It feels like I just straight up didn't equalize here. Bishop takes f6 was a questionable decision. There were some other questionable decisions as well. I very much do like what my opponent is doing in this game. I'll try knight f4, bishop g6 check. I'm also sort of threatening the pawn on g2. I don't know if it matters a great deal, but I am sort of threatening it. Is there any study that can find Lichess by you? You can, I think I saw a blog post by the admins saying that basically the entirety of the Lichess puzzle library, which is, I assume, by this point, millions of examples, is now searchable by username, which means that if you search for this username, Moose959, which is my main playing nickname on Lichess, you can I actually clicked on the link when it was posted. I think there's like 15 puzzles based on, loosely based, I would say, on Miley Chess games there. I sort of expected more, but I guess I just don't play enough online chess anymore. So I don't know why I chose to be mildly offended there aren't anymore. I could have thrown in bishop g6 check, but no particular reason to. Actually, maybe there was a reason. Maybe this is the reason, actually, yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're just gonna be kind of lost-ish, I assume. Yeah, that's a kind of a mistake. I wanted to include this, but then I realized queen takes f4 is a move that people can make legally. Which is annoying. So now we lose the pawn on e6 and we are in deep trouble. Yeah, I did think it was 13. Thanks, no joke. Yeah, we kind of need to give our pieces some squares, but it's just going to be very difficult to yeah, like, how do I even unpin myself properly here? Maybe we do, like, gamble a little bit with rook h8. Yeah, exactly. I think, yeah, this is clearly somebody, I don't know who this player is, but it's somebody who has a very, very decent grasp on how things are. The only thing going sort of in my favor here is the time situation, which is, you know, which might allow me to escape somewhat unscathed here, but yeah, I don't know what this move even achieves. Maybe I want to play knight e7. Not after bishop f4 though. The queen goes to a6 if it's chased away. Yeah, this I don't like. This is a huge improvement for me, having the pawn on e5. Yeah, now I think I will be okay, but specifically because this exists. And where's the link to the challenge? This is not a challenge, this is an arena. I'm not actually playing the viewers here, I'm playing in a tournament. Okay, I blundered mate into excellent. Excellent. I didn't really deserve to get any points out of this game. Basically, I sort of I saw the bishop takes e5, knight b3, and I, as it often happens, you kind of tune out a little bit. Thanks very much to Kappa Peak for the very nice donation of 690. Are you still playing Hearthstone? Yeah, a lot. Without any success. The best kind of combo, where you spend a bunch of time on something without ever improving or becoming any good. Highly recommended. I kind of want to punt the entirety of my king side, but maybe I shouldn't. That's like me in chess, yeah. That's like everybody in chess, honestly. We have space and not much else. I think black's position in particular, because this bishop normally is like on g7 and has no squares, but now it's already sort of exactly. I'm kind of surprised bishop b6 wasn't played immediately, but if I play bishop b3, knight g4 exists, so I can't easily do that either. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I guess this is the point. Yeah, and I honestly think it's a very solid point as well. Just pushing for the b5 break. Black is completely fine. Like taking and playing d5 is fine. This is a bit surprising, honestly. Like, what's the plan here? This can't be right. What? I think my opponent sort of miscounted how we... like, what the material balance will be after this forest sequence. I think my opponent kind of assumed we are now equal in the number of pieces on the board, which is not true. I actually have one more. So yeah, that was probably a mistake. I should have included knight f5. g6 should be played, but like I am a piece up, so it generally speaking shouldn't matter a great deal what we do here. Let's be extremely greedy and just plonk the bishop on b5 here and say I'm not actually giving up on c6 at all. I should at some point play king h1 or something. Yeah, people trying to get me to pronounce some very, very long and probably somewhat, you know, impolite names. I mean, it's a kind of a time-honored tradition, but I'm going to refrain. But I do thank you very much for the donation of... Yeah, people are observing all the niceties here. There was a 690 donation, and now there's a 420 donation. So people do know how to approach these things properly. Yeah, I should start berserking. I think, probably. This is taking a bit too long. We need to get back the points that we've lost by blundering queen takes d8 mate in the previous game. Jokes aside though, I am very, very grateful to everybody who donates. And memes are always kind of gratefully accepted wherever and whenever I stream. And the $50 from yet another Anon. Thank you, Anon. And we salute you. Thank you, Tonsai. Let me just see. Can you... Hang on. Do you hear the donation alerts, guys, or not? Because sometimes I forget to switch on the desktop audio and only I hear them. I think it's on, but I don't entirely know. No alert noises? That's weird. No, I definitely didn't forget. It's just... yeah, hang on. It's switched on, but yeah, let me make it louder, and then we'll see. Because yeah, they should be audible. Yeah, b3 was probably a mistake. I already kind of dislike my position because it gets fixed. Did you ever try Super Auto Pets? I played it for about 5 minutes flat, and then I realized that I have no idea what the good builds are. And once again, thank you, Anon, for the $30. Did you hear the sound now? Because yeah, I don't know if it's still not clearly audible to the stream. I have no idea how to. That's annoying. I have no idea why that is. Because everything that is supposed to be on is on. What's going on here? I keep on forgetting to berserk. And hang on a second. Yeah, and another 50 from Anonymous. Thank you very much. Yeah, not the greatest position in the world. Whoa! If that's who I think it is, thank you very, very much, Jake, and you know you're very appreciated. But yeah, this particular 420 is very, very grateful for it. I kind of want to get rid of this bishop on b6 if I can, so I will do this kind of a weird tactical operation. I don't know if it's great, but it feels like not having to worry about the bishop long term is going to do me potentially a world of good. Actually, nah. Nah. Probably shouldn't have done that, now that I think about it, but we'll see. Have people always been underrated at the lower level and over the board, or is it post-COVID thing? I recently played a classical tournament. I played several people under 1500 who were all over 2100 online. I think there's a bunch of people who just played no over-the-board chess from like 2020 to 2022. In particular, if we're talking about kids, that will be a massive reason. I probably should have taken on b5. I kind of expected my opponent to protect the pawn on b5, and they didn't, so I don't know why I chose not to get involved. Yeah, we're keeping the bishop on a8 locked. It's more important here than picking up that straggler. Well, not locked, but kind of locked-ish. Okay, I'll take now. I mean, maybe I'll take this way. Maybe I'll take this way. Yeah, I don't know. We don't even need really to care about this pawn on d4, but on the other hand, why not? Like, it's one of those positions where, you know, as long as you don't completely lose your mind, your decisions no longer really matter a great deal, because you're so completely winning. Yeah, we should be giving some kind of a mate, but I'm also open to the idea of collecting everything on the queen side. Yeah. Too late. Yeah, first I need to remember there's a button. Thanks, my name is Topaz. I will be more mindful of it now. Or at least I will, you know, I keep on promising that and then not delivering. We're playing some kind of a weird Dutch here. I don't really know if 1194 from Lucas. Thank you very much, Lucas. We're up to, and I guess that's why the number was so specific. We are now at $8,000 even with that donation from Lucas. Thank you very much, everybody who is continuing to support this. You're all fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we didn't really need to castle this early, but why not? OCD donos, yeah. Yeah, I've done that myself once or twice. These types of, let's make this number look better type donations. Castling is so much fun in 960, why not? Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a reason to do things. Let's just continue, like, since we're so much better developed, let's continue trying to, you know, blow things up. Yeah, now that Rook B1 happened, it was probably a good move, but now the king on E1 will have to go, you know, anywhere that it goes, it will have to go there by foot, so to speak, because both rooks have now been moved, and you can't castle either side for our opponent. I kind of want to take on A2, but also I would like to do something which is more, you know, romantic, but it's a very healthy. I blundered Rook B8 check. I will be entirely honest with you guys. I did blunder Rook B8 check after Rook A8, which I think informed my previous decision greatly. Annoyed at myself. Are you still actively training, or do you coach nowadays? I'm tempted to say neither, but I mean, I am sort of shifting my focus a little bit towards non-playing activities. Yeah, I was kind of planning to go knight c5 against any move like that, but now I realize it doesn't do nearly as much as I thought it did. We're still gonna play it because it looks right, but... Someone steal that knight on f3, yeah. Precisely. No, we're making some progress. I mean, I will be, I think, winning... Oh, okay, I mean, it's in particular if they do that. We no longer really need to do anything fancy, we're just kind of winning in very straightforward ways. What separates top GMs from each other, like 2800, 2700? It's, at that level, it's very much like intangibles. It's going to be very, very difficult to define. This is where you get to, you know, those really weird discussions about, you know, the feel for the pieces, and like some people occasionally, like once per generation, or maybe more than once, but like not very many people will be described that way. Described as like being physically incapable of putting the pieces wrong, you know, like the. It's also, I think, like if we take the most obvious case, it's intangibles in terms of approach to the game. Like, I think Magnus, and thank you very much, Wanyoni, for the 20. Very, very warmly appreciate it. Like, when Magnus was at his best, and I don't know, and I suspect, like, one of the reasons we're maybe not seeing this anymore, at least to the extent that we've seen it when he was absolutely crushing, what separated Magnus from his competition was his desire and readiness to play every single game to its absolute conclusion, and also desire and readiness to play every single game for a win. which I think a lot of people either just don't have, looking, at least, like, definitely looking at me. I mean, I'm not very much in that conversation, but I can talk about my personal approach and how it always differed from Magnus's approach. But even if you compare him to some of his very best competition, he was always a lot happier, playing on while he could still play on, sort of regardless of what the position was, regardless of, I'm kind of dumping stuff on the queen side here and sort of continuing to dump stuff on the queen side. I don't know what it does. I mean, okay, bishop a7 is a good move here. This I just straight up blundered. Yeah. And yeah, thank you very much for the 5 Lord Jaraxes. The Lord of the Erebor Legion is supporting the relief effort. That's saying something. What shall we do? The Lord of Heroes, I'd never pick in bitches. Yeah. Relatable. Relatable. Yeah. Eredal, Lord of the Burning Legion. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing something strange there. I'm completely lost here as well. Thank you very much for the 30, JJ94. So let's not resign. Hopefully. Black can actually castle queenside here, which will be hilarious. Like, if he actually just goes to c8, d8 here, I think it's probably the right move as well. Because it's just going to be safer there than it is where it is right now. Yep. Understandable and correct. Eredal, Lord of the Burning Legion. What am I, like, people have not really emoted me with Jaraxes in quite some time. I remember I used to think that if you somehow drafted Jaraxes in Arena, it was just a straight up misplay not to start immediately BMing once you got to play him. Like, if you actually get to play Jaraxes onto the board and you don't immediately start spamming every single emote, I used to feel that it was just like a straight up misplay. You said hilarious with a SoCal girl accent. I will choose to take this as a compliment. I will make a conscious choice of taking this comment as a compliment. Jaraxes is sorry. Yeah. Yeah, well, you can really no longer do that for a vast variety of reasons. The most important one, I guess, being that nobody plays Arena. Which is not something that you can very easily fix. Yeah, this is maybe required because f7 was hanging, but now that those bishops are completely killed off, my play becomes a lot simpler. I thought you were still playing. Yeah, that's exactly the joke. I am the last one. That's also not true. There are some people... Hang on, let's not blunder mate. Yeah, I've been a bit too, I think, blasé about the whole thing. Rook e4 is kind of annoying here. I don't know what that does. But I do feel like I need to take the queens off. Or at least attempt to take the queens off. I have almost blundered a mate here, but not quite. But yeah, I obviously blundered bishop b8 check there, which is going to be a massive, massive problem. I'm probably worse now. Yeah. Maybe... Actually, the bishop on b5 is not much smarter than my bishop on b3, so it's not that bad, but... This wasn't very smartly played by me. Yeah. Not really sure what I'm supposed to do here. Let's just make some moves. Hello? Okay. Not sure what that was achieving. I kind of feel like taking those bishops off the board is useful, but it also, like, it's useful in a way that, like, it makes the game sharper, but I think it makes it sharper mainly so that I can lose. But we don't mind. It's a result, like any other. Yeah. You could have... Oh, okay, so you're actually... Hang on. Seriously? Huh. Okay. Rook h2, bishop g3, though. This is not nearly as clever as I originally thought. Rook h2. Rook h2 was very strong. Rook h2, rook h2 f7 though. Maybe I was actually winning. Weird game. Weird game, but we did get there in the end. Because this one is now just a queen. And we are on the front page. But like miles behind David. I guess the quest now becomes to actually play David before we have to go off air. Yeah, it's always so kind of meh when, my opponent at least doesn't really... What I was going to say is that it's always very meh when you get those symmetrical f4 or 5 positions, but my opponent is also a proponent of fun, which we definitely appreciate. Have you met David in person? Yeah, I mean, c5 was hanging and I didn't take it, but I will take it now. I don't know what I was doing. Yeah, I played him a bunch. I played a match against him in Prague. Praha. In 2010-ish. He is a fantastic person. I've played for the same club with him as well. He is like one of my favorite chess people. Extremely kind, very polite, very well-meaning. Just an all-round nice person. Are we castling king side or queen side? Who knows? I guess queen side, because why not? It's a very solid queen side as well, like there's... and now I guess we can go e4. and start opening stuff up, because a2 is not hanging anymore. David is a gem that should be protected at all costs. Yeah, I think that's an entirely valid observation. Knight g5, queen g8. I almost played it, but then I realized queen g8 exists. Let's just play king b1. King b1 cannot be a mistake here. David Howell. Howell is also someone very valuable to the chess world, but no, David Navarre. Okay. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have allowed that, if we're honest with ourselves. I don't know why. Like, knight takes b... Whoa, okay. Yeah, I need to kind of get my head back in the game somehow. Because, yeah, I also blundered. It's not just the exchange, it's also this, but luckily we have knight d2 and then bishop f3, and we can sort of continue. I have a student rated 21, I'm rated 2100, he's rated around 1600. Is it a bad idea to advise the fielder via d6? Is it too idiosyncratic for their level? I don't mind it, you know. I generally, like, my attitude towards suggesting openings to pupils would be that wherever possible, I would be very much in favor of playing, you know, quote-unquote real openings, because I think, you know, learning how to play the Spanish, for instance, is just going to be so unbelievably useful long-term, due to the, you know, vast variety of structures you will be forced to learn and so on. But the Philidor is actually going to give you many of the same structures, so I don't mind it. I mean, I would still probably be sort of more in favor of the Spanish, but yeah, it's not the GF queen takes f3. I kind of I was a bit too blasé about this again. We'll have to switch to giving some kind of a mate, I guess. I don't know what mate though, like we have no attack. I don't know why I even pretend I can play for mate here, but we'll just start throwing stuff. Okay, queen f5. I mean, it's a solid move, but I think there was no reason not to take on h3. I don't think black needed to be this conservative. But it's, I mean, it's a very solid choice as well. Like, I'm not going to criticize a decision to take the queens off in a position like this, but it's going to make actually winning quite challenging for my opponent, I think, and sort of gives me winning chances. I mean, sort of, not really. This is probably not a good move. I mean, I do absolutely want to keep the rooks on the board, but yeah, precisely because of what my opponent is doing, yeah, this is probably incorrect. Like rook 8 f3 was just much stronger. Yeah, we want the rook behind the g pawn here, and then we want d5, d6, or even bishop b4. And weirdly, like, black has seemingly everything under control, but this setup is kind of sturdy enough that I can even play g4, d5, I think, if I have to, because after rook h6, like, I'm still weirdly playing this game for a win, even though I definitely am not better. So I'm playing d5 here to kind of tempt my opponent into playing g2. This will probably result in me losing the game, but once again, like, this is all for a good cause, we don't really care. Bishop d6 might be a good... No, bishop d6 is fine. Like, if they play rook h2, f2, g2, I have d6, and the g-pawn doesn't actually queen that easily. What I'm worried about is blundering some kind of an idea like this in a way that doesn't allow me to play d6 in response. And then the g-pawn, obviously, the fact that I closed down the connection between the bishop on 6 and g2 square is going to be a problem. I'll start by just playing king b3 just to step away from the checks, so that rook h2 I have kind of more breathing room to do something. I could already play d6, but I get to pick up the pawn on a7 if they take with the bishop, but then the bishop returns to c7 and I don't actually have a good follow-up that doesn't completely stalemate my pieces. Yeah. This is wrong, but like I'm basically trying for confusion value more than anything else. And maybe some ideas of like d6 and then king b6, but yeah, like this is already such a victory for me that I got to just get I think I can already play d6. I could have played rook g6 first, but like I'm just introducing an element of panic to my opponent's decisions more than anything else, and it's very, very powerful. How to improve chess visualization? Practice. Nothing else really works. Like try analyzing blindfold, trying sort of following analysis on a written page without moving the pieces. In a way, maybe, like, I don't know if it's true or not, but it feels to me that maybe it was somewhat easier for, let's say, my generation, because we did not analyze on the screen, which meant that like there was no hardwired connection between you entering a move and the move instantly appearing in front of you on the chessboard. So you maybe had to do a little more hardcore visualization compared to the current setup. I almost blundered a mate in 2 there. If I took with this pawn, bishop g4 was actually mate, which would have been kind of funny. Yeah, I didn't berserk again. Yeah. It's just not happening for us. That's a kind of a strange trade. I would not have been making that trade for kind of love nor money. I don't think there was any call at all for our opponent to just give up that bishop. I want to stop, yeah, like I want this bishop on f2 locked in. Worst knight in history. I'm pretty sure there have been worse knights in history, but it is absolutely what I'm playing against. I am trying to make those two pieces as kind of stupid and as yeah, I should have played h3 actually. I definitely should have played h3 and kept the rook on h1, but my opponent also offered me a draw, which is now, you know, making me kind of more and more incensed. Why are you offering me a draw, sir? I'm better. Yeah, and because we haven't talked about it for a hot minute, once again, thank you very much for Chess, and of course our gratitude to the Doctors Without Borders organization, which does a lot of absolutely life-saving work currently in Turkey and Syria, and thanks to everybody who is chipping in and helping them do that work. If If you take on f5, you actually get mated, so I would advise not to take on f5. I thought it was mate in 3, but it's actually mate in 2. Yeah, that's not really an improvement. I mean, it is compared to being mated in 2, but not so much. Huh. The knight is about to come out. This is very heartbreaking. We must fight against it with every fiber of our being. My threats on the other side are slightly stronger than this, so I don't have to care. I will maybe take a moment to care for like 1 second, and then we'll go back to winning every single piece on the other side of the board. Hold up. Hold up. Still no, okay, there we go. There we go. This is a horrible, horrible move. I don't know why I made it. It makes no sense. Like, there are some positions, and this is actually like a completely normal starting position with those two things reversed. And I played g4, g5 in it. I am being an idiot. I am being a certifiable idiot. Okay, Benoni, sir? Let's go for a Benoni. I'm very down for a Benoni, sir. How about you? Yeah, that was a mistake. You absolutely do have to play d5 in that position. Whoa. But my dark squares, sir. Aren't you worried about my dark squares? Look at them. Look at those majestic dark squares that I'm controlling completely unchallenged for no reason whatsoever. We are the Borg. Possibly, yeah. It is within the realms of possibility that we are the Borg. This is very slow. Let's just give mate. I don't know why I'm faffing about like this. Let's just switch to what we actually want to do in a chess game. And give mate. Need some music. Don't actually disagree, but don't have the technical capability of adding music to the stream anymore. Well, I mean, I do, but it requires more than one click when it used to require just the one click, so... Are we greedy? No. The answer is very much no, we're not as greedy as all that. Should have probably prevented c5 though. I think giving mate has been put temporarily on hold to establish a fuller control over the dark squares, and then we'll go back to giving mate. Getting the queens off the board here does not actually signify us giving up on our long-held beliefs about giving... Whoa! In particular, if our opponent does this. which I think speeds up the process of giving mate wonderfully. We're still in third, but yeah, not gonna actually get there. Just open the door and get the pianist to play some Chopin. He moved out. Therefore, the sweet sounds of... Actually, he doesn't really play much Chopin. Plays Bach for preference. But not here. Not exactly never I mean, yeah, that's... yeah, I got very wistful discussing the fact that I no longer have easy access to one of my children, and immediately blundered a very, very big thing. Sensible. We're getting some compensation though. In particular if, yeah, like, this is now very serious compensation actually. Just look at this. Sorry, the exchange sack was my fault. No. It's never anybody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. So chat, which version of this song is your favorite? I don't actually know very many versions. I was sort of brought up with the Led Zepp version. Actually, not Led Zepp. Yeah, that's Page and Plant. When they were doing some kind of a co-op later in life. Led Zepp was very much not a thing anymore at that point. Blind Boys of Alabama, yeah. In my long gone poker days, I used to have a kind of an anti-tilt record I would listen to. And that record was an album by a singer called Beth Rowley. And she did a pretty good version of Nobody's Fault. Yeah, we kind of won that game a little bit too easily, considering the fact that we blundered an exchange and a pawn in one move on move 5. Yeah, Artem, I agree. Yeah, Page and Plant's version is very, very good. Yeah. Come on, I have 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I actually somehow ended that game with more time than I started with it, which is a new one for me. I don't think I've ever done that in a Blitz game. Okay. Let's go. Whoa, okay. Excellent. A proper blunderfest is upon us. Let's go. It's not even that great, honestly. There is definitely compensation for the exchange here. Like it feels like I've achieved something, and maybe I have, but it's not even like it's a very playable position because that was a good bishop that I had to give up, and it's not that bad. I mean, it probably is kind of bad now, but I think probably my opponent could have played in a more aggressive fashion. Okay. Really? That's a really strange trade. I mean, obviously it's a kind of a small matter, but okay, now I'm kind of getting mated. Knight takes b7. I thought knight takes b7 wasn't happening as quickly as it actually is. We need to pay attention for a second here. Now knight a5 is very strong. I really should have been paying attention. Like, I once again sort of completely tuned things out. And I will pay for it dearly. Well, I mean, not that dearly. But I will pay for it. We did manage not to get mated, which was, I think, the most important immediate challenge. And now we can regroup. Yeah, I don't know why I was given a chance to play knight f4. That wouldn't have been my choice. What do you think of Wesley getting the casting rules mixed up? It can happen. A lot of people thought it kind of betrays the sort of lack of care that he had for the tournament. I think that's entirely incorrect. I think you do get, in particular in the heat of the moment, you do get occasionally a little bit mixed up. But yeah, it was, you know, funny. And also, I think he said in an interview that, or maybe Magnus said in an interview when he was asked to comment on the whole incident, that he also felt that castles was legal there. And I don't think he was joking, and yeah, as I said, like, it's a thing that can happen for sure. It's a bit unusual for people of that strength to not know the rules of chess, but yeah, I don't know why I'm doing this. It's not a good move. But, you know, freedom! That kind of thing. Diagonals for bishops and blah blah. But yeah, definitely not recommended. Where do our knights go? Probably like this, and then d5, knight d6, knight d6. Bishop f2, g3, or h3, bishop h2 though. In my career in a celebrity, I had a grandmaster asking if it was legal to castle while the rook was under attack. Yeah, I mean, people do get confused about things. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to do this, and then to just like suddenly castle that way, and pretend it's all part of some kind of a master plan, which it isn't. Can you make tournament on the Naughty Mies? I can in general terms, but not today. Today we are supporting the Doctors Without Borders charity, and as part of that relief support on Lee Chess, I'm playing in this specific arena. I'm not taking challenges, I'm not doing any of the things I would normally be doing. Rook going to g3 is kind of annoying me. But maybe I don't need to be like respecting it too much. Yeah, what No Joke is saying there, that people do still get very confused about en passant and all of those things. Like, one of the things that I thought, you know, chess.com got somewhat correct in recent... Well, that's a full piece, actually. Somewhat correct in recent years was them introducing an asterisk next to... Like, if you capture en passant on chess.com, and I apologize for mentioning them more than once now, but I will stop in a moment. You do immediately get an asterisk next to the move, which I assume does prevent some people from immediately launching a complaint about being hacked, because it links to the article on the rules about en passant. And they obviously did this because of the volume of complaints that they had. Like, it's not a thing that you do just because you feel like you need an extra asterisk somewhere on your site. It's very clearly been the result of people complaining incessantly about being cheated. Yeah, I'm basically kind of lost by move 5 here, 4. Very impressive. Good to be me. Like, this is just kind of dead. I appreciate the message, Denise. And yeah, anything we can do to help. I will actually include this check to take on g5 next move. I mean, I'm no longer lost. I was kind of lost earlier, but no longer really. Well, I allowed g4 and my opponent didn't play g4. Okay, that sequence is not particularly well played by either one of us. Is it hanging? Kinda is, I guess. Bishop f4 check is also a move that I have to respect a little bit? Question mark, question mark. Gooder to just, yeah, let me. Yeah. Alright, so I've never actually, I don't think I've ever seen anyone use E dot P dot on a written notation. Thank you very much, Sombrero, for the $10, and thank you to everybody who is continuing to support this this effort. It is greatly appreciated. Yeah, suddenly we have just a very pleasant position because like none of these 3 pieces really make any sense. So I have quite happily allowed like a very optically very nice outpost for some kind of a piece to be on f5, but like none of these pieces have any way of getting to f5 anytime soon, so we don't have to worry about it. We can even push ourselves. Three soundest gambits. Like, do we count the Queen's Gambit in that number? Because it really isn't a gambit very much these days, but okay, if we don't, gambits. Thank you, Memes fan. Gambits. I mean, Evans is just a pretty decent opening. I guess Evans starts as number 1. I mean, Mora is fine. I'm just like, I'm not personally, I'm kind of against people playing the Mora, which is why I've been kind of pausing before naming it, but Mora is not horrible. Yeah, must remember that I don't have very much time actually. I have enough, I assume, but not as much as I thought I did. Okay. Yeah, Yanish is fine. I think Yanish comes very close to equalizing. I mean, some of the d4 things are okay. I think Dodgy probably will unfriend me if I don't mention the Budapest, but yeah, we're just not getting paired against Navarre, are we? It's just not happening. We should give up hope. This is something that we did quite a lot with Gary in all kinds of positions, just trying to play c5, e5, to fight sort of as hard as possible against the occupation of center with pawns specifically, and giving up control over squares like d5 here, because we can challenge with like knight c7 and knight b6, and it's generally not that bad. There will definitely be some positions in which it works. Greetings to Joyce are always very warmly appreciated. Let's go knight b6 for now. Joyce is here, but he is somehow today he decided that he is not interested in the idea of potentially being fed. So he's been very quiet. I've misplayed the last couple of moves horribly, like horribly. This is really not what my position should have looked like from where it was like 5 moves ago. Yeah, I'm kind of very unhappy about this. What's the best variation of Grunfeld to play as black? That question doesn't really make much sense. I don't mean it in any kind of an insulting fashion, but like you've already played the Grunfeld, so if you like tell me which lines by white give you trouble, then maybe I can come closer to answering that question. But the way you phrased it, like I don't really like. There's no reference point for me to start answering. I wanted to go bishop f4, but now I realize the knight will just come back. I might still not have anything better though. Maybe I just take on g2 and kind of take the plunge. If we get mated, we get mated. This is clearly somebody who is pretty good at chess, by the way. Very sensible decisions, like very logical, very... no, but specifically sensible, and sensible is something that is extremely valuable in 960. Just developing pieces to good squares. I mean, white probably is completely fine, but we are a pawn up, so I'm not going to say no to an endgame of pawn up. Is there anyone with a style similar to Firouzja ever, except for Morphy? Honestly, it's very, very non-obvious to me that Firouzja's, nearest points of resemblance is Morphy, and I don't think his style is necessarily that unique even. He's just a kind of a good all-round player. Very sharp, but there's been plenty of very sharp good players over the history of chess. So yeah, I don't know why it's specifically Morphe that you are thinking of. You were my favorite player. I appreciate the past tense there. It's entirely appropriate. Hard to complain. Let's try to get some pieces off the board. I kind of want to take on a2, but my king is not very safe, so I am basically offering my opponent a full h-pawn there, just to get the rooks off the board, because then I think my conversion will become simpler. Because I will really no longer have to worry about king safe. Whoa, that was of course supposed to be a5, not a6. Thank you very much for the $9 to Anon. Yeah, that pawn should have already been on a4 in this position, like I clearly... I was very confused for a second on how your rating was only 23 or 6. I'm not, like as I said, I'm just not that strong anymore, Pixie Nixie. Yeah, after Things Masters I had to burn my Svidler jersey, yeah. Yeah. That's actually somewhat hurtful, because I didn't do that poorly in that particular thing. That wasn't anywhere near my worst online performance. I actually beat some strong players in that. Yeah, Curl Control says, I don't understand the tendency of likening a obviously very strong young player to the absolute greats of history. Big shoes to fill, but yet give him time. I agree with like every single word in there. Am I actually even winning here? I kind of assumed I will be reasonably simply winning in this position. And thank you very much for the 100 to Revoof. Woof. Thank you very much. It all goes to clearly a very worthy cause here. Knight c6, king c4, f. No, I think we have to do this, and then maybe this, and kind of ask the question this way. But yeah, it feels like I'm just not going to win this endgame. So yeah, I played this so poorly. Whoa, okay, this is a very, very strange choice, because this just loses on the spot. Like, this I did not expect. Nothing in the previous play of my opponent made me suspect he was capable of a mistake of this magnitude. What's the most important advice in playing this knight versus knight endgames? King activity, creation of outside passers. Okay, finally. And we get a position which is important not to blunder g7. Very important not to blunder g7 here. Which we will attempt to do by immediately closing down that diagonal. As much as possible. Is that still the hardest tournament? Sort of, yes, because of how long it is. I mean, if we don't count the things which are in the cycle, because I still think that the Candidates, for instance, is a more difficult tournament than Vike, but it obviously is like a very special case. But in terms of simply just events on the circuit, I think Vike is probably the most difficult. Isn't Single higher rated? It probably is, although this year Vike was just unbelievably strong, right? Like you actually have to look up the numbers. I'm not going to be surprised if it turns out you're right and Singfield is still stronger on paper than Vike, but this year the lowest participant in Vike was like 2680. So yeah, my plan was to play d5, and I'll stick with it even though it feels like I'm probably going to regret it. Do you think people will only start caring about candidates in World Championship matches as Rapid and Blitz becomes more popular? Not sure. Like, the question sort of contradicts itself a little bit there, so I'm a bit confused. Huh. Yeah, this is a good move. This is a very good move that I obviously completely missed. And don't have a good reply to at all. Like, not at all. Okay. This was played a little bit too quickly for comfort, but I no longer really have any way back, so we are going to have to go here. Ah, he has d5 in the end, and bishop c5 check is a threat. We are kind of completely busted there, but I don't think I have a stronger option. I think I still have to go here and just like try to get my queen into the game and not resign. But extremely likely that I just get mated. Extremely likely. But yeah, this is, by this point, this is the best we have. Ah, e6 maybe just wins on the spot, yeah. I kind of missed e6. Yeah, e6 I have no good reply. I mean, I have no reply. 95 maybe, but 95, like I'd much rather resign, honestly. e6, 95, c4, bishop e6, c takes d5, bishop f5, queen f6, resign, queen d5, resign. Yeah, I think e6 we could very justifiably just kind of... That's unexpected. This is a kind of a weird second lease on life that I've been given here. My position remains bad. It's not like I suddenly start liking my position, but... Did you... yeah, it seemed like we were kind of dead, and now we are... still sort of in the game. Have you ever visited Turkey or Syria before? Turkey more than once, of course. Syria, no. And... that is in weird order, but yeah, thank you very much to Anon for the 500. What is happening here? The game is confusing me greatly. And 20 from MTT1. The game confuses me greatly. I mean, we're actually alive, like we're not doing well, but we are legitimately alive here. Very mystifying. This game should have been over a long time ago. Wooden queenside castle, we already moved our king. Not an option. Would very much improve our position a great deal. Curl control, just unavailable. Not a thing we can do. Yeah, why am I continuously forcing him to make this move? This is like ridiculously bad. Like I kept on inviting him really, really strongly to make those moves, which are very strong. Makes no sense whatsoever. bishop f6 check. Where is... yeah, okay. I mean, we were completely lost earlier. Got a bit distracted, but yeah, I mean, as I said, like, that game should have been over and done with by move 15. I don't know how I got to a playable position and then I lost it all over again. Yeah, let's go. Let's go Musi. Yeah, Musi is... I think my brain is kind of frying itself a little bit, honestly, but... I definitely don't feel as fresh as I did when we started, and this is something that 960 does to you very consistently, I think. It takes a lot more processing power to play this game compared to the normal chess, because you can't really rely on your usual kind of autopilots. They no longer really work. This is some kind of a really strange King's Gambit where much of my compensation, I think, is based on the fact that there's this queen on a8, which isn't really doing very much. Yeah, we kind of have to do this, I think. I should have played b6 on the previous move, honestly. It still does something here, but it doesn't do nearly as much, annoyingly. It's still the best move, though. Just buy a better processor, yeah. So, I mean, it's a solid advice. This looks extremely ugly, but the most important thing is we get to the b6 pawn. Like, nothing else matters. We just need to start opening up the queen side. Like, we can even do this. Obviously, d5. Now this is going to survive forever. But we're making so much progress on the queen side that it becomes sort of less relevant. Still need to find a way in. I guess at some point I will have to sacrifice on b7, but we don't really mind. Like, we will prepare it and then give it up, and should be enough. Do you sometimes interact? Whoa, okay, I missed that, but I don't really mind that all. Whoa, okay. This, I think, is a mistake. I think taking on d5 was probably stronger. Not really. Like, it's a long question. I'm not going to read all of it out, but the short version of the answer is not really. I kind of want to play c6, so I will prepare and play c6. I'm doing it in a kind of a really inefficient manner, but yeah, I've not played the last. I like the sound for 20 seconds kind of threw me for a loop here a little bit. We're still doing well enough, but another game that could and probably should have been over a longish time ago. Yeah, I can't play in 3 seconds apparently. We played that person. Yeah, I feel like I'm suddenly just kind of done. Brain refuses to cooperate. Playing the Benko. Kind of a okayish looking Benko. I would have played b3 or b4 by my opponent on the previous move just to kind of prevent me from being so comfortable playing g6, but it doesn't really impact the situation so much. Queen d3, I guess, and then the other knight comes out. Yeah, kind of said I lost the previous game because that was just so completely winning from a certain moment on. It did not need to be lost. Yeah, we're okay with this. Do I have to stop a5? I probably do have to. Well, stopping it is surprisingly difficult, actually. This is a good move. I might have to do something drastic. .94 here is very annoying because I still, yeah, this is less good, I feel, because I just need to castle, and preventing me from castling, making it as uncomfortable for me as possible to castle was, I'm pretty sure, the order of the day. Yeah, now we're just a pawn up, so it's a comfortable situation for us, of course. There's some compensation because the bishop on g7 had to be traded away, well, on h8 actually, but we can even play e7, e5, and there you see my fabled arrow drawing skills on full display. If I wanted to play e5, I probably shouldn't have played rook b8 because this would be the plan, but we can find other squares. Just getting it to g4 is the task here. We obviously, I mean, it was losing, but I wouldn't really be very interested in taking on e4 anyway, because I want to be able to snap that knight on d5 when it appears there, so that makes a lot more sense to me. And now we need to kind of look for ways to get the job done here. I think probably queen c6 is, sad as it sounds, is maybe going to be the most comfortable way of doing things, because after the captures, suddenly a lot of pawns which aren't hanging yet will be started hanging for our opponent, and holding on to them will be difficult. That's fair, but yeah, I shouldn't have allowed rook c7. That's like really, really bad. I'm still winning, but yeah, I should never have allowed that. This can be blockaded and collected. The bishop on a1 is just so completely out of play that we get there very comfortably. And as we are preparing to sort of, like, not just yet, but soonish it feels, judging by the speed I'm processing things right now, I once again want to think that's a blunder of a full piece actually after 96. Yeah, that's what I was talking about when I said that I no longer really kind of see things at all. Bishop b2, bishop a3, like, we're not even better, despite having all of these pawns for the exchange. Yeah. And I don't really mind looking like an idiot in general, but this is one particular way of looking like an idiot which I've always disliked. I kind of hate... that's a good move. That actually wins the a pawn straight away. That is a good move. Now rook c5, specifically rook c5. I mean, nothing else works, but rook c5 does work. Yeah, I've always very much disliked playing chess poorly and losing games of chess sort of exactly in the fashion that you're watching me lose. So this also becomes kind of less fun for me. Not that it matters a great deal that it has to be fun for me. Obviously not, but gamble against 16 seconds. I mean, it doesn't lose, and I don't really care anymore. I'm pretty sure it doesn't lose. If it does lose, I will be okay. That's a choice. He could have taken on f6. That is definitely a choice. Yeah, what fashion do you mean? Just kind of tuning out and completely winning positions. What did I just do? Idiot person. And now I get to demonstrate that I don't actually know how to win this position, I guess. But I mean, I sort of do, but yeah, okay, from here I will win it. Yeah, that was not great. I think can be fairly described as not great. Queen needs to be able to... Okay, not blundering b7. My opponent is awake at the wheel, which I have favorite chess players for each decade you played, and you wanted to replicate them for their one quality that you desire the most. That's an oddly specific question. I haven't had very many people I actually wanted to replicate, because the list of my chess idols is not very long. I've always admired Kasparov and kind of modeled my game in as much as it was possible on Kasparov, but to say that I actually wanted to replicate his game would be kind of unfair-ish and also a bit stupid, because I just very simply not good enough to do it. Like it's such a high bar that it never really felt realistic. It just felt like some kind of an unattainable ideal. And the other name of that list has always been Mikhail Tal, and sort of same applies to him. And in case of Tal specifically, he was also a lot to do. And when I say those things, you have to keep in mind that I haven't actually met him. I have once in my life been sort of in the same playing hall with him, but I've never actually met him. So all of this is absolutely from other people's stories. But I have a very strong feeling that I would like him a great deal as a person. And also, kind of going even further than that, I would very much like to be the kind of a person that he was from stories. Once again, all of this is absolutely not my first-hand impressions, because I don't have any. But that's how I feel about it. That's a kind of a weird maneuver I entirely missed, but maybe not that stupid. Yeah, I wasn't sure what my opponent was doing with the move g5, and now I can sort of see. Thank you very much for the 20 to the Anon. Anons have been out in force today, supporting a very, very worthy cause, and we salute them for it. Yeah, this is strong. I have misjudged it quite badly. It's just very good. There's no good reply to it. And another 100 by, I assume, a different unknown, but still. Thank you very, very much, and we really appreciate it. We have almost gotten to the 9,000 mark during this stream. We started at 7 and a bit, so thank you very much for your generosity of spirit, and it will be very gratefully appreciated. Yeah, just kind of busted after, I don't know, d4, 95. Queen h6 check is also very annoying on every single move here, so. Weird question, but how you generally want to calculate, like how you properly sequence out moves. Yeah, weird question specifically because I think questions like this type of question is almost impossible for me to answer. Simply because it's something that I don't, like, I no longer do it like by following some kind of a set procedure in my mind that I articulate. It's just something that happens in my mind. And as would be the case with all of these types of, you know, instinctive things, it becomes almost impossible to describe to outsiders because you no longer like pay any attention to it, like in which order those things happen in your brain. So it's, yeah, I don't know where to start. That's a really strange move. It's probably strong, but it's a very strange move. I don't see why my opponent suddenly is making these kinds of, you know, retreats. Their position was like extremely good without it. I thought just like bishop takes e4 followed by a 5 followed by a 4 was plenty strong enough. But in the past you used to have it, not exactly, but you once again, this is something that used to be an actual thing, and I don't know if it still is an actual thing that people do very much, but like there is this approach which was, I think, popularized specifically in a book, Think Like a Grandmaster by Kotov, which I think by this point is very much kind of busted, outdated, no longer used type of method, which I will get shouted at if I sort of continue promoting it. I kind of want to find some kind of a tactic here that works, but I'm struggling. Rook h8 I missed entirely. Like, do I have to play Rook h1? It's so sad. But like, if we talk about what Kotov says you get to a fresh position, you sort of nominate the candidate moves. I don't know why I played a4. The king needs to be on a1 so that queen takes a5. If I ever play bishop takes a5, it's not a check, but a4 was like, first of all, it should be on a3. So yeah, this is like very, very stupid. I don't know why my opponent is somewhat playing into my hand by creating weaknesses on... Whoa. Okay. That's unexpected. This is like that famous endgame between Karpov and Kasparov in Sevilla, but not exactly. I don't think this is a perpetual, though. Yeah, I don't think it is. I think we get away. But now the question is, what do we... I think I actually... there's knight c7. Annoying. I wanted to go in like bishop 6, queen c8, queen a6, but I don't have enough there. And knight d6 is coming in, so we have to... That was unfortunate. Do I want to play d5? I think I probably want to play d5 here. And now I want to avoid being checked. Yeah, I mean, this is probably a draw, but it's a kind of a... Yeah, now I blundered knight c8, and it definitely is a draw. Strange choice. Okay, mate in 1 was pretty strong. This is so stupid. Like, mate in 1 was actually pretty strong. Ridiculous. So, going back to Kotov, yeah, I got completely distracted. Like, you were supposed to generate a list of candidate moves and then go through them. And additionally, by going through them, there are some very famous examples of this. Like, you have a list of things that you're considering in the starting position that you just began to analyze. And then you realize, by analyzing those moves, that there are some other moves which need to be analyzed, and so on and so forth. But I really don't know if anyone still does that, like, specifically in that way, in that order. I would be surprised if it still happened like this. This is a decent move I completely missed. When you see mate in 1, look for a better move. Yeah, exactly. This is just extended BM, guys. You know me good and well enough to realize it's always just extended BM. Also, we still haven't shown the dog yet, right? Which feels like a misplay. Dog needs to be on stream. I'll try to do something about it. Should play g5 if allowed. Just gain space. Gain more space. And more space. And more space. All of the space. This queen is not getting out of the corner this easy. We're going to keep it there for a while yet. This is still like a solid enough position for my opponent that I might actually end up regretting playing a little bit for style, so to speak, in some of my recent decisions. Because g3 was definitely me kind of miming. It was not required. It's still a good position though. Joyce, listen. Listen. Обойди. Обойди. Touch. Touch. Давай. Давай. Touch. Yeah, there it is. The beast. Hello. Hello, the beast. Stop with the gaining space. I thought you were a Grunfeld player. That is a fair comment. That is a very fair comment. How do we give mate here? I guess we start by knight c3 check and then we go from there. I don't know. I am very upset by seemingly lack of love for the dog. This is a truly majestic animal and you guys are ignoring him altogether. I feel very upset by that. Why did I thought I had rook e1 mate in this position. This is so stupid. People are ignoring us, Joyce. We will launch a formal complaint. I am actually kind of not winning this game. Although maybe I am, who knows. Crunch, crunch, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're still winning. Is that your only dog? That is plenty dog. I don't really need more dog for now. Although I would probably not mind having more, but it involve logistical nightmares of a level that is probably not necessary right now. Have you read the Dresden Files? I have read, I think, the entire run up until maybe 2018-ish. Or thereabouts. So if he wrote something since then, I have not really been updating my collection, but Control or Shift? Control, I guess. I missed a I missed a donation. The dog is majestic. Love from New York. Thank you very much. And he really is, yeah. He really is. He is kind of shyer today than he normally is, because I started streaming starting from the World Rapid and Blitz. I did quite a lot of commentary in December and January. And basically, after I think a day and a half, he realized that when I sit in this room alone and talk to nobody, it means that there are some treats on the table next to me that I will be willing to give him for some reasonably straightforward tricks. I could have taken on b7 in the previous position, by the way, but talking about the dog is like it short circuits everything in my brain. And he would just like park himself under the desk and sleep there and like wake up every, I don't know, 90 minutes or so and just like crash the stream, demand to be fed, and then go back to sleep. Which is a very sound plan of action. You can't really fault it. Will you do any commentary for the World Championship match? Probably yes. Probably in Russian. I'm guessing we're not really, like, I wasn't told by Nightbot, but I assume we got raided. So thank you very much to GM Tranquilizer, who is a beloved colleague of mine, in particular because I think we're not really the only two, but we are at some point where maybe the two most prominent people who were streaming specifically chess and Battlegrounds as a combo. I think Jan Nepomniachtchi streamed some BGs at some point, but not a lot. Definitely not to the same volume that we did. Do you think Nepo is a huge favorite to win this one? No, not a huge favorite, no. He might be a bit of a favorite, but not. Like, I don't really care about what happened in Vike in terms of, like, it does not impact my opinion of Ding as a player. Yeah, I think it will be very, very close. Yeah, feels like this might be one of the last few games of the stream, because I really do feel like my brain is imploding a little bit, and that generally is a good time to wrap up. So once again, thank you very much, Felices, for giving me this chance to support the effort to raise funds to help Doctors Without Borders, which are mean, they're a very important organization that they help a lot of people. I kind of feel like Queen Takes 6 might be made, but I'm failing to calculate it fully, so... did you see Drunk Magnus stream in the morning? I've seen bits. I haven't seen the entire thing. I hope the Ding Nepo press conference will be as good as the Kramnik Ding ones. Yeah, that was a legendary presser. I still remember that presser, yeah. Because during that Vike tournament, like, nobody was willing to do any kind of pushback against Vlad, saying he was winning everywhere. And I think Ding was just about the only one who kind of politely and with a smile just kept on saying, nah, just a draw, you're not better, nah. It was awesome to watch. We keep on playing against this Alifi person, and we've so far only played one game against David Navarra, which is a bit regrettable, because it would have been good to end the stream on their particular matchup, but doesn't seem to be happening. A7 was hanging, wasn't taken though. This is going to be a very sad bishop for a while, but we have hopefully some other things to make us feel a little bit more cheerful about life. But it will be a very, very maudlin bishop for a bit. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word correctly. We can't end without the dog in the frame. I will try to arrange it. I think that's fair. He is back to drowsing on the floor. This is a good exchange sacrifice. I was about to say that. This is a very, very solid exchange sacrifice. One kind of a saving grace for us is that getting specifically a knight to the e6 square is going to be difficult, because there are no squares for white to get it there. Like, we control d4, we control f4 for now. But obviously, if, like, let's say if this piece gets here, we kind of resign. Let's not get mated. At least not immediately. Yeah, I've not played the opening of this game particularly well. Make sure to put more pieces on dark squares. Yeah, maybe the quest for this game will just be, can we get every single piece we have to a dark square at the same time? Might be difficult though, because like, I really don't want to play h6. Having said that, like, it's if I achieve that, this is, I think, the problem with this challenge is this guy. I don't know how I'm getting him off the board. Like, this is the biggest problem we have with our side quest. Everything else appears to be manageable, but yeah, getting rid of that idiot is going to require a lot of imagination. Okay, that's sort of along the way to the correct outcomes. such a strange position. Yeah, exactly. Queen e1 e6 now is going to be kind of painful. And this is also on a dark square now, on a light square now. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. The plan was to do this. He probably loses, but once again, like, what do we care? And side quest is just abandoned by this point. We're just not going to get it. We have way too many pieces that we've spoiled by putting them on light squares. Yeah, side quest is just hopeless now. Thank you very much, Unique, for the 30. And all of you for participating and staying with me and supporting the cause here. It is a very worthy cause. We need the king on e7, and I'm just putting the bishop on some square where it will not be locked in by me playing king e7, and then I want to bring it back to d6, ideally. And a 50 from Nate. You're all heroes. No, this is just a, like, we're fine now. It will be a bit of a travesty if we actually win this game, but not for the first time during this stream. Definitely not for the first time. Yeah, the a-pawn kind of wins itself. Like, the knight on h5, which was such a proud piece, restricting the bishop on h8 was like... Look at what happened to those two pieces now. It's kind of remarkable how much of a sea change we've encountered since then. Winning is also a side quest. Yeah, exactly. Winning can definitely be counted as a side quest. One last one after this, and I'll also try to get Joyce to give you all a high five. Yeah, I'm kind of prolonging the inevitable here, but why not, really? Almost played Queen b1 there. Queen b1 there would have been a bit of a mistake. So yeah, one last one. David is on 100 somehow. Very impressive. He lost one game. Yeah, he lost 2 games somewhere, and we lost. Yeah, that one was when I was setting up the stream, but we did lose 3 on stream, including 1 to him. Yeah. So yeah, probably one last one, and I will try to get the boy to give you all a high five, and then I'll have to go walk him, I guess, because I appear to have failed at, you know, raising children who understand that they have chores. So the doggo is entirely unwalked, and it's already 8:30. Queen b1 is a bad side quest. Yeah, like, Queen b1 would have been kind of extended BM taken to extremes. Yeah, let's go. Let's absolutely go. What are you doing? Like, why am I completely and utterly winning by move 5? Okay. This probably shouldn't have been played, but this is just, like, not the last game I wanted, because my opponent is, I think, very, very obviously taking the piss, and while there's nothing, you know, inherently wrong with taking the piss, it's not what I wanted as kind of streaming content. How do we break through? I mean, we can also, like, open things up from that direction as well, right? I can actually play knight e7 if he plays g6, because, yeah, okay, this, I don't know what this is, but I kind of feel attacked by that statement. Which statement? Okay. Ты пойдешь все-таки?
А что?
Окей. Я просто уже... Окей, хорошо. Looks like I was slandering the good name of my child on stream for no reason. And I will pay dearly for that in some kind of not so very distant future, but the doggo is about to get walked.
I will pick him up and will wrap him into your stream.
Yeah, he needs to be on stream because this is the last game. Come on, come. Boya. Yeah, I think we're still, despite the fact that the doggo is getting walked, we still need to have him. We still need to have him give you a 5-5. 5-5. What the hell is that? Come on. Come on. There you have him. Yeah. High five. Yeah. Something like that. Something like that. Once again, thank you very much, Fully Chess, for doing this. They are absolutely doing a lot of good in the world of chess in general, and also specifically right now with this fundraising effort. Thank you to all the donors who donated both during this stream and off stream and during other people's streams. And please continue supporting this this cause, as it is a desperate situation in those countries as a result of the earthquake. So thanks everyone for tuning in, talking to me, complimenting my dog, which was definitely, there was not enough of that happening on stream, but children that don't know they have, okay, you know, as you can see, I was also